So let me guess a little something about you. When you started playing guitar and you realized it was something that you were kind of good at and wanted to invest more time into, you started looking into more amps and more effects. And I would be willing to bet that one of the first 5 guitar pedals you ever owned was a wah pedal. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but I feel pretty dang sure that you probably got a wah pedal, and you probably even got a crybaby wah pedal. Truth be told, I haven't had a wah pedal on my pedal board, at least my gigging pedal board, in years. I've been using expression pedals for a long time, which can emulate a wah, but I haven't just had a pedal designated for the wah sound in quite a while. That being said, when my buddies at Xotic reached out to see if I wanted to try these wah pedals, I gave it another thought because after doing some research, it looked like they were much smaller than the typical wah pedal that I use, and they have a little bit more customization in terms of the tones that you can get, and they seemed a lot more practical in terms of doing sessions and gigs. So in this video, I'm going to shoot out both of these wah pedals. This is the Xw-1 and then the newer Xw-2. I should mention that while Xotic did send me these pedals for free, they didn't ask me to say anything in particular about the pedals. This is all my honest opinion, as it should be, so if there's something I like or I don't like, I will let you know. Because I'm doing this for free, if you want to support my channel, you can subscribe down below, leave a comment, or check out my Instagram, where I showcase a lot of my guitar playing as well as things about my daily life, and there's just a lot more to see there. With all that out of the way though, let's check out both of these wah pedals. Alright, so I got the Xotic Xw-1 plugged in first, that's the white one, and this is what my clean tone sounds like, just guitar straight into the amp. Alright, let's kick it on. All of the knobs on it are at noon right now. Alright, so now I'm going to start fiddling with the knobs so you can get an idea of what this pedal can do. The first knob that I'm really excited about is called the bias knob. And without getting too much into the details of like how the bias works, essentially in layman's terms, it controls how much gain the wah is sending to your signal. So this is something that I noticed with the old crybaby wah that I've had and other wahs that I've used in the past. They don't necessarily keep your gain structure the same if you're playing clean or with overdrive, which is why this pedal is really cool because I can adjust how much gain I'm getting. So check it out. I'm going to turn the bias knob all the way down first and the guitar will sound super clean, and then I'll turn it all the way up and you'll hear a massive difference in the tone. Alright, so now I'm going to turn it all the way up so you can hear the difference. Yeah, so that's a massive difference. I'm sure you can hear it in the headphones too. It's not only a volume bump, but the amount of gain that I'm getting is pretty drastic. So it's an awesome way if you want to match your tone on your guitar. You can just turn that knob to dial it in. So that's really cool, especially if you're doing stuff for sessions or recordings. The next knob on this pedal that's really cool is called the Q, and this is the one that people get confused a lot of times. And essentially what Q is, both on a wah and an envelope filter, is how much of the wave you're actually getting when you sweep it. So if I turn the Q all the way down, as I sweep the wah from heel to toe, the actual wah sound won't be as pronounced, but if I turn it all the way up, you'll get a huge wah sound. So I'll show you what that sounds like. And something else that I'm noticing about this pedal that's really cool is that the knobs actually click when you turn it to noon, which is a really useful feature. But this is what it sounds like with the Q all the way down. And now I'm going to turn it all the way up. Wow, so you can hear how much more of a wah sound you're getting. Personally, I prefer it a little bit on the lower side. I think that overpronounced wah can be a little bit intense, especially because you're starting to cut out all those lower frequencies. So the Xw-1 also features a bass and a treble knob. I kind of prefer leaving these at noon. I don't really want my wah pedal controlling how much bass or treble I'm getting into the signal, but the bias is really useful on this pedal. I like to keep it on the lower side. So my preferred settings for this wah are somewhere around what you're seeing on screen, and I'll show you what that sounds like. Yeah, so already what I'm seeing from this pedal is the amount of tweakability that it has makes it super unique in the world of wah pedals. Usually it's just plug and play and go, and depending on the wah that you get out of a factory, it's going to sound different. This really allows you to shape your tone to kind of exactly how you want it to be. So now I'm going to switch over to the Xw-2, which is the next wah in line that Xotic has released. Wow, so just at first glance, the Xw-2 sounds really good. I just plugged it in. There's nothing I need to tweak on it. It sounds kind of exactly how I want it to sound. It actually feels like the way that it sweeps and the tone I'm getting feels very much like a vintage wah pedal. So far, just from that first playing, I'm really impressed. But I'm going to play the same lines I was playing on the other wah just so we can kind of hear the difference and shoot them out. So yeah, that sounds really, really, really good. I'm impressed with this pedal. This one's probably the one I'm going to keep on my board. And just kind of something I wanted to mention is that the Xw-1 has all of those features, which is really great, especially if you're someone doing a lot of sessions or just recording work in general, because you can really dial in the sound that you want. Whereas with the Xw-2, this is going to be for the person that just wants to plug in their guitar and play. And it's really good for gigs too, because you just set it up on your board and forget it, plug it in, and you're good to go. There is another feature on this wah pedal that I should mention though, which is that while there are no buttons on it, you can adjust how much of a sweep that you get, which is really, really useful. I've actually dialed the sweep back just a tad because I feel like on a wah pedal in general, when you're swept all the way back and you go forward, if the sweep is too much, you're losing too much low end and it can get really harsh really fast and it can be difficult to play. So now I'm going to put on some gain and we'll shoot out how each pedal reacts to a pretty heavy amount of gain. I'm going to throw on a fuzz. All right, so let's hear how these pedals sound with quite a bit of gain. So I've got a fuzz face going right now, just straight into the amp with the wah. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either of these pedals. I am really impressed with how they sound. And the fact that they're so much smaller than a typical wah pedal is just amazing. Like, I could fit this on a mini travel board, no problem. I'm probably going to put one of them on my rig. I haven't decided which one because I like them both. But yeah, like I said before, between these two pedals, you can't really go wrong. Kind of depends on what sort of guitar player you are, but really impressed overall. I don't think it would be right for me to do a video about pedals, only talking about the great things about them. There is one concern about both of these pedals that I will mention, and that is that they're both incredibly difficult to stomp on and off. And that can be a problem. It's definitely more difficult sitting down. I tried standing up too, which is how I would be at a gig. It is easier, but either way, it is a problem with most wah pedals. They're just notoriously difficult to kick on and off. But I would definitely mention that if you're someone that doesn't want to have to really stomp on your wah pedal to get it going, that is an issue with that I found with both of these pedals. So between both of these pedals, I'm definitely noticing a pretty vintage sound, which is really good. It really just kind of makes you want to do that 60s wah Hendrix thing, just like blow it up with a bunch of fuzz and let your guitar playing do the rest. I think between both of them, which one you should get depends on what kind of guitar player you are. So if you're someone that's doing a lot of recording or a lot of sessions, then I'm going to pick the Xw-1, which is the white one I use in this video. The reason being is with all the knobs, you can really tweak the tone that you want and kind of cater it to the mix of the song that you're working on. And that's really helpful as a session player. If you're someone who just wants to plug and play and have a really good time playing your wah both on stage or in your room, I'd go with the Xw-2, which is the blue one that I played in this demo. There's just less that you have to worry about in terms of tweaking it to the sound. When you plug it in, it's going to sound good. I'm doing sessions at home on my session board, then I'd probably throw the Xw-1 on there. Yeah, both of these wahs just kind of give you that sound that you want from a wah pedal. They're really small and lightweight, which is just incredible. I've thrown out my back touring because my pedal boards are so heavy, and any way that I can shed weight from a pedal board is amazing, especially when we're talking about a wah pedal. I have huge feet. I'm size 12, sometimes 13, and this feels totally fine under my foot, and I don't think most guitar players aren't wearing shoes bigger than mine. If you are, let me know in the comments, because that's pretty impressive. Alright, well that's it for me about these Xotic wah pedals. Let me know in the comment if this inspired you to grab your wah out, or if you want to purchase one of these. Like I said before, I think this one's for that session player doing a lot more recordings and needs to tweak their tone, and this one's more for that plug and play musician who just wants to use it on gigs or for fun. Again, if you want to support my channel, you can subscribe down below and ring the bell so you know when I'm releasing a next video. I'm starting to do a series where I do 5-minute guitar lessons every Monday, and I think there's some pretty useful information that you'll find there. Until then, I'll see you next time, and I really appreciate you watching the video.